Oh, we're rolling. What to do, what to do. How are we doing this morning? Very wet out there. I hope you're staying dry. Okay, well, I was just checking the abs out after a weekend. A few treats. Nothing too crazy. A few oatmeal cookies. I had a almond croissant Saturday morning. I had some pork ribs on Saturday night, some sweet potato fries, and what else did I have? If I'm being honest, that was pretty much it. Oh, I had some lentil crisps Saturday night, watching Stranger Things, getting ready for the new series. What's the secret? The secret is when you get in shape, it's actually easier to have these things. And because I limit it, that one day doesn't become 2, 3, 4 a week, I'm able to maintain my level of condition. Now, this isn't pat on the back stuff, but I am now 50 years old. So the secret is, there is no secret. Consistency, doing the same thing over and over again. One of the problems with a diet, and I know this might sound like I'm being sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Hypocritical of my own program. But a lot of people just don't do the 10 weeks. They roll over because it's discounted on the second 10 weeks. And the whole idea of it is that where people go wrong is they see a diet as just a period of time. The problem is with that, if you go back to how you were eating, and eventually you're going to put the weight back on and the body fat back on, and you're going to undo all of the hard work. And that's what people do, also known as yo-yo dieting. Now, here's some things. You got to be honest with yourself. So many times I talk to people about their diet and they say, oh, I eat well, and they're out of shape. You're not in shape. So stop. It's like you're enabling yourself by telling yourself you eat well. And then when they tell you what you eat, you think, you don't. And another thing, I've touched on it before, what is your body type? You might just not have the body type that would ever be able to eat that stuff and get away with it. That's a reality. You might be later in your years, so your metabolism has slowed down. You've got to have the reality check with yourself. Even guys that are not, when I talk to people that on the surface, you might think, oh, they're not fat, but they're skinny fat. So yes, they might not be a bigger person, but they're skinny fat. Skin's thick. The problem is a lot of the time is people think they don't eat shit, or they kid themselves into it because they're snacking. So they don't really eat planned meals, and even if they do, they're eating shit in between, which is building up the calories in that day, that week, that month, etc., etc. So, same, I've talked about this before, drinks. Because it's a drink, it's like I'm not having calories. I told you before. You know, these coffees, 400-500 calories a pop of shit. One of my clients the other week sent me a thing for protein yogurts. Now, I'm all up for people eating yogurts in the evening, but let's get it straight. Unless you're adding protein powder to it to give it an additional taste, most of them are shit. And she sent me one, and it was a protein yogurt. Well, the ingredients of it were milk, cream, and artificial sweeteners. it was fully loaded with shit. I mean, the protein element of it, I think it had something like 6 grams of protein. It was fucking rubbish. I mean, you know, like I said, if you went to the supermarket and you really wanted to be healthy and you didn't know anything about dieting, you would go to the meat counter, you would go to the fruit and veg counter, and you would fucking bounce. All the rest of it is shit. But I'm not going to get on that. So the trick is, if we accept that a diet isn't just for a period of time, we have to relearn habits, install new habits, and that is the way you're going to eat going forward. Cardio. You have to increase your expenditure. This creates the deficit. This also means you can eat more food, because if I can burn 2,000-3,000 calories a week doing exercise, then you can eat more food. And this is what keeps your metabolism alive. It's not about starving yourself. Controlling your insulin. Again, picking the right food, low glycemic index foods. Oats, sweet potato. I mean, brown rice, I'm not a fan, but rice, normal, natural foods that you can have that are much better for you. These are the things that you must eat. And yes, people go, oh, it's so drawing pain and all the rest of it. Well, you're going to have to get used to using herbs and spices and dry rub, gotta love it. These things will help your food to taste better. Extra virgin olive oil. And if you are going to use sauce that you use a tiny amount. So chili, any sort of hot sauce is really good. Also has a bit of a thermogenic effect, i.e. it will raise your core temperature. Black pepper. What's another thing that you can do? I get hungry in between meals, and this is where you mess it up. Black coffee, green tea. Recognise in yourself where you fall short and have alternatives to what you're already having that have got you into the position you're in. Then, when you get your body weight down and you're leaner, you can literally eat other food occasionally and your body will just burn through it. Because, why? You go back to your routine. The secret is consistency. The secret is doing the same thing every week. Don't do this week that you won't do next week. And preparing your food. Making sure you have the right food ready. Food prep is key to staying in shape. There are good meal prep companies as well, where you can get meals for about £3.5 a meal. So, and then also if you are snacking, actually at the weekend, one of the things I left off, peanuts. If I'm going to snack, I'm going to snack on peanuts. High protein, high good fat. Some, even if they're a bit flavoured, dry roasted. The sooner you have that than some of the other options that are out there to have. So, this is the way to help keep consistent, keep yourself in shape. Don't just go on a diet for a period of time and then let it all go to shit. Waste of time. Stay as you are. Don't bother with it. That's what I say. Don't bother with it. Keep your water intake high. Remember, the more water we drink, the more water we push out. So even after the weekend and I've had some treats, I'll carry a little bit of water. But I know we're doing my cardio, having my higher water intake. Give it a day, 2 at the most, and that water weight's come back off. Be honest about where you fall short and stop kidding yourself that you eat clean, because you don't. And, you know, look, here's another thing. A lot of people, again, alcohol, huge amounts of calories in it. You know, now, If alcohol is your thing, you will progressively get fat. And even for the men, you'll most probably have little titties. You look like a pregnant cat, where the estrogen builds up, the estrogen builds up, and you end up with like fatty tissue around there. I mean, Jesus, just, like, I'm not saying don't ever have a drink, but the truth is, if you're someone who can't say no to a drink, you're going to struggle to be in shape in your life. One of the things that we must have is fitness and health, and you're going to struggle with that. I'm not saying that you can't ever have a drink again, but if you're drinking every weekend, those calories are building up. If you're over 35, you're most probably putting on 7 pounds easily a year, if not more, and eventually all of a sudden you'll be in big trouble. Another little hack, use berberine, natural product to help control insulin levels. You know, I always talk about this. Controlling insulin is one of the things that will help you to control your weight. Berberine, you can use it 3 times a day, 1500 milligrams. Take a capsule before breakfast, midday meal, and then in the evening. It works in the same way that metformin does, which is given to people with diabetes. Great natural product. Anyway, that's my rant for this morning. I'm a little bit hoarse. Come on, the Gunners. And even though I only watched it here at home, I've managed to do the throat. Screaming at the TV, well, screaming when the ball was just kept hitting the back of the net. So, London is red. Up you Gunners. Have a great week. Remember, Diamond Sups. I'll put the discount code in the description, which is under the Black Friday. Have a good week, people. Monday you grow.